Hey friends, I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to do a video on how I play a Necromancer. Yep, it's that time where I'm gonna do a guide for Necromancers, and I probably play Necromancers differently than how a lot of other people may play them. I know that there's a lot of people that might use Feign Death a lot. They might act as pullers, or they might do this or that, and I just might play a little differently. So if it's not how you play a Necromancer, that's okay. I'm just doing this for any new players that are sort of looking at different classes and curious to see what they can do, and if they're interested in trying that class. So that's what these little guides I do are about. And the reason I call them how I play so-and-so class is because I don't want it to be how everyone should play it, because obviously everybody plays their own way. You do you, as I always like to say. So what do we have here? We have, of course, my Necromancer, a gnome Necromancer. We are at level 63, and I think the play, at least the way I play, will be scalable from anything from like level 1 to 65, honestly, because I don't do anything special. I'm probably not even going to be using a whole lot of AA abilities or anything. So I'm going to do kind of like the basics, you know, at least in the beginning. And then if I think of anything more advanced, I'll toss it out there. So one thing I like to do, especially when I haven't played a character in a minute, is I like to sort of delete some of the main spells that I usually use and go back and reconfigure them, because I don't know what the hell I was doing or thinking the last time I played. So I want to make sure I have my most recent spells, especially when I'm sort of soloing like this. Yes, I have a cleric mercenary, but that's all. I don't have backup. So we're going to go with Embracing Darkness, and that is the snare line of spells. And let me do this again just so you see. Anytime you have an empty spell slot, you right click on the spell slot, and then you can go to the different subject matters of each spell, and I want damage over time, right? And then I want snare, so I select that, and that's how I get to what I want. And for the next one, it's going to be another dot, so maybe we'll go disease for this one, and we'll grab the highest level disease. For this one, let's go fire, grab the highest level fire. And for the last one, I'm probably going to go poison, and I guess that's Envenomed Bolt. Next, I want to go for taps. Duration taps, usually. Duration tap. This means that it's going to drain life force or hit points away from the target, and it's going to give it to me. Which, hey, nice. Yeah, you know, I can sort of heal myself. I'm going to remove the gate spell because I am for sure assuming that I probably have some version of AA gate by now. Yes, I do. So that's what we're going to do there. Let's put gate there, and we're going to move everything down a little bit. I usually also try to grab Origin and keep it up there next to Gate and Throne of Heroes and all that. That's why they're all together, so they're easier to find. And so we're going to get rid of Gate, and we're going to replace that with another life tap. We're going to just go with a regular straight up health tap. That way, if things get ugly or weird with a beard, I can do some health. So these last three spells are going to be used for a couple of buffs for the pet, the haste buff for the pet. And let's get our shielding up, make sure we got that going. And then let's get a rune. Let's put a rune up here. And I probably won't need to worry about some of this stuff, like healing myself, for example. Ooh, I've been neglecting my skill to, what's it called again? Forget what some of these damn skills are called. But the skill for Abjuration, I think it is. Oh yeah, it's only at 64. Ouch. That is terrible, folks. Don't let your Abjuration slip like that. So we've got that going on, and now let's see if we've got any other things we can give our pets. Block, that's just a guard, doesn't last very long. I'm not going to really worry about Renew Bones right now, and that's it. You know what I might do though? I'm going to keep a pet spell memorized as an emergency, because the pet is the only tank we got, and if for some reason he does die, I will be able to summon a new one. So I think that's sort of a good idea, like possibly a good strategy. I guess I'll memorize the rune spell. Let's take a look and see what Levant is. Hey, that's a like Shadow Step or evac. I didn't know that we get that. That's at level 55. So hey, sure, let's have that ready just in case. That sounds good. Another thing that we could do is we could memorize. You know what? I'm gonna do that here instead of that one. We are going to have Death Piece ready, which is just a higher level version of Feign Death. Yep. So that is one of the wonderful things about the Necromancer, is that if I start getting too much aggro or too much hate from the monster where it is attacking me a whole lot, I can feign death with this spell, and that means that they will stop attacking. So we're gonna start by attacking this fella here. This fella, like, sometimes I wonder why I say certain words. And oh, see, he's already smacking me around. So let's do this. Let's do the Feign Death here for a second. Oh, I've been neglecting my damn Feign Death skill because it's Abjuration. I see now. So we're attacking this guy. He is hitting like a truck and really messing up the pet. Fortunately, we do have this cleric that is helping to keep the pet alive. This guy is yellow to me, so of course he is a serious challenge. I'm just going to try to keep as many dots on him as I can. And one thing that I can do when they're snared like this is that I can sort of kite them around a little bit. I just want to maybe recast the snare now and then to make sure that he stays snared, because if he's not snared anymore, he's going to be that much harder to avoid. And this is again where having your sort of duration life tap can come in handy, because you can keep draining his life while keeping yourself healed. I'm almost tempted to try to switch to a tank to sort of maintain control of this guy a little better, because I'm really not able to. Oh, I see what happened. I didn't even have taunt on my pet, so that's one of the reasons why he was going after me as badly as he was. See, I make a lot of mistakes, so I'm probably not the best person to learn how to play a class from, but by doing these mistakes on camera, I'm able to show you what to avoid. Maybe I should call my guides how to not play so-and-so, you know, of a class. How to not play a Necromancer, because I could still explain what the spells do, but I don't always use them to the best of my ability or in the best way possible. I make a lot of mistakes. That's how I die a lot too. So okay, we've got this going on. I do have him set to taunting now, and we're gonna try this one more time, and maybe we'll do better the second time around. Again, these guys are yellow to me, and at 60 something, these guys are what, 64? They do hit very, very hard. And it looks like the taunt does help a lot, because he is now concentrating on my pet, which is just great. And the pet doesn't have a whole lot of buffs. It's got virtue from the cleric, and he does hit like a freight train, so it is very difficult to keep control of this guy. Now, one thing that a lot of people do, especially when they're fighting something that is a little more powerful than they are, is that they can fear kite sometimes. So what you do is you snare the guy, and then you cast fear on him, so he starts slowly walking away. Of course, because he's snared, so he can't walk away quickly, you know? And when he's slowly walking away, that means he's not able to really hurt your pet. He's not able to kill your pet, and in that being the case, your pet can keep hitting him. So we're going to actually try that. I'm gonna memorize a fear spell here. Unholy Bellow. I wonder if that's going to be the right thing to fear this guy. Yeah, I think it is. But he's probably going to be dead by the time I have it ready to cast. But I will try it with the next thing that I pull. All right, that worked out. And I've never really seen Necromancer pets as able to properly tank. I don't feel like they've got the hit points that a mage pet has, especially when you think about a pet like the earth or air pet. Those make for pretty good tanks, and it looks like my dot failed the first time, but I'm able to dot him now that the pet's on him. I mean, this is a very risky place too, there's not a whole lot of space for me because there's mobs all around to really guide this guy. So by trying to fear kite him, I could end up endangering myself, because if he starts running that way towards his friends, we could end up getting a whole lot of other things attacking us. So see, I feared him, but it's already gone. It's already expired. So it didn't last very long. Let me see if there's a different fear. There might be a better fear spell. Maybe it's even lower level, but it works better and it has a much better cooldown, because I don't remember fear spells having quite such a terrible cooldown. Again, this one is taking forever. It doesn't make any sense to me as to why it would take that long to be able to cast a damn fear spell. It's just a fear spell. Is it really that powerful? Oh great, this is a stupid fear spell that only works on undead. So yeah, I'm not going to be able to fear this guy. And the thing is, I cast fear on him and it didn't even work. It lasted like a second and then it was all over. So let's try Unholy Voice. I don't know. This whole thing has me baffled. It used to be back in the day you could fear something, they would start to run away. You could let your pet beat on them, and now it seems like they changed how fear works or something. So I still have my cleric set to reactive here, and I think it's the best thing for this because it's going to make him react instantly when my pet is wounded and getting pummeled to death. So there we go. We've got a couple of dots on him and we have him snared and we got the pet on him. So let's see now. Let's try to fear him one more time and see what happens. And it didn't do jack. It didn't do a damn thing. So I really don't understand. I don't understand what's going on and why fear doesn't work like it used to, because the thing is not running away. It doesn't even say that it's feared. So let me know in the comments, guys. Did they change how fear worked? I can right click and it says booming voice fills your target's ears, causing them to flee in terror. But they're not fleeing in terror. They're not doing much of anything. They're still hitting my pet, and I'm very disappointed. See, this is why people want to play on project servers like P99. Daybreak keeps messing with the spells. They keep changing how they work or just breaking them all together. It doesn't make sense. If you feel like fear is too powerful, you know, then I don't know. That's your fault. You made it that way. And then you're just gonna change it or break it so it doesn't do anything. What is a necromancer supposed to do, you know? I even tried using my highest level fear. It didn't do anything. So I'm gonna keep trying to fear things. You know, we can even try pulling one of these guys that are a little bit lower level. Let's get the mercenary, or let's get the skeleton to follow, and I'm gonna try fighting something over here. Or maybe not, because that guy's yellow. I want to fight a dark blue. Maybe I'll have a better time of it and have things like spells work the way they're supposed to. Ooh, there's a wolf. Don't really want to mess with the wolf. There's also an elemental over here. There's a lizard over there who's dark blue. So let's try pulling that. He's level 59 and maybe things will work out a little bit more in my favor. I mean, sure, I'm surviving and everything, but I am seeing that my pet is taking a lot more damage than it should be, and that's cause for concern. Again, my necromancer is level 63, so we're gonna try the fear now and see if it works at all, what happens, how it affects him. So it's too high for the fear spell? Okay. He's taken way too many pot brownies to be able to be feared. I just tried to use my feign death, and of course it failed because my casting skill is terrible in abjuration. I'm trying to just stay put, hoping that my pet will be able to pull aggro easier if I don't run around too much. And I do have the cleric, but I know that if I take too many hits, I might get my ass knocked out. And when that happens, the pet's just gonna die. And cleric mercenaries, they don't do any kind of damage at all. See, yeah, it's resisted, it's too high. So let's try to memorize one of the higher level fears and see if it helped. The thing is that the cast time and then the recast time on it is just terrible. It's just really, really bad. So I don't know. let us try to memorize Feign Death, level 16. I should be able to cast that without failing so much. And in doing so, I might be able to skill up a little. Oh, this lizard is white to me, so maybe we'll try to pull that thing. Hopefully we don't get both of them at the same time. I can't imagine that a wolf gives a crap about a lizard getting dotted. Ooh, we are going to move back a little bit because that wolf was kind of moving up on us. So again, my strategy here is to pull with a snare and then just land as many dots on this guy as much as I can. It's sort of a slow process with a necromancer. We don't just blow things up. We just sort of burn them slowly with dots. And as long as my pet does fine, I'll do fine. Let us try Unholy Bellow on this guy and see if he gets feared. And it didn't seem to really do much of anything. It's making him chase me. That's about it. I don't understand. So my dots are wearing off, so I'm going to recast them. And then after my dots wear off, I'm going to hit Feign Death and see. If you're on a mount, your mount will actually die too, or you'll fall off your mount. So you got to remember to get your mount back after you feign death, but that's how it works. And it seems to work because when I feign death, the lizard saw me indifferently. I might have to snare him again because he's running, although he's at 0% health. There we go. I got 1.175 XP. That doesn't seem great, but considering we were having an XP bonus not that long ago, I guess that's why. So let's try pulling this wolf here. At least I have more room to run around now because there's not a whole lot right here in this little area. So if I need to just run around a little and kite this wolf, I can. And that's something that people do too. Like a necromancer might land as much dots as they can on a monster, trying to get the aggro and the hate. They might even turn taunt off. So let's try that. We'll turn off taunt and we'll hit them with a few more spells. And now the pet, the skeleton pet, isn't getting hit but it's hitting the wolf because the wolf is chasing me, but it can't chase me very quickly. And this is a way that you can kite a monster and have complete control over which direction he travels, which I think this is probably the smartest way to do it because the pet's constantly attacking, it's doing the damage. The only thing is you got to stop running to be able to recast your spells. But you cast one, you move, you cast another one, you move. So it's just a matter of keeping some distance between you and your monster. And I do feel like this is probably the most sensible way to solo with a necromancer. Because doing it this way, I wouldn't even need a cleric mercenary. I keep aggro. I make sure nobody's taunting. If I wanted to, I could have a wizard mercenary or a rogue mercenary and then just have this happen. I can even whack him a little bit with my stick. So I feel like that's probably the best way to handle any monster who especially is more of a challenge for you. Now, I would be afraid to do something like that with the earth pet because those guys tend to root you, and if something can root you in place, you're kind of screwed. If that happens, your best bet is to do feign death and let your pet take over and turn taunt on with your pet so your pet can taunt the monster and just get him off of your back. So let's try with the goblins here. These guys run so quickly because they got Spirit of the Wolf buff on. Something I do when I'm pulling and the thing is kind of far away from what I feel would be a safe place, I will not pull with the snare. I'll pull with something else because I just want to get them away from that area. And maybe I should have pulled him with a gentler spell, but it happens. Sometimes mistakes are made. Now he's aggroing my mercenary a lot because my mercenary is healing me or healing the pet. I have control of him now though, and this is a much smaller radius of a place for me to be able to run and avoid him. So it's a little more challenging. Oh, fire dot. I need to fire dot this guy. Something I like about the fire dot, it seems to have a very short cast time compared to most of the other spells here. Oh, shit. No, I don't want to aggro the other guy. If I aggro another goblin, I probably won't be able to handle it. That was close. I don't know if you saw that goblin coming up. That could have been an ugly scene. All right. The goblin is now trying to run away because he's below 20% health. And just to be safe, I'm going to re-snare dot him if I can. It's not landing. There we go. And now all I have to do is I could sit back and slap him a little bit, maybe get a few skill ups for one-handed blunt, and that's it. So I think that is probably the best strategy, honestly, is to just get control of something and sort of run him around, let him chase you. You could take the taunt off of your skeleton, and that way the skeleton's not taking damage. And you know what? I might even try this. I might go crazy, and let's do melee damage, mercenary. So we'll do a rogue, mercenary, set to burn, okay? So we're gonna have no cleric at all. So this is gonna be completely nuts. My pet could die, I could die, but we're gonna try it, and we're gonna try it with one of these damn yellow goblins. So let's just hope, folks. Let's just hope that I don't get my ass kicked too much. One thing I for sure want to do as soon as possible is that I want to... Oh, my merc is taking a lot of damage. I want to try to grab aggro, and for sure I want to keep up that slow damage over time thing. I want to life tap him because I'm taking some good damage here. All right, we got him. Wow, he died so much faster because of that rogue. You see that? And I survived it. I did survive it. I didn't have a cleric. So that's another strategy. You can possibly use some other kind of methods. You can try to keep aggro. You can maybe get a wizard mercenary instead and see how that works for you, or like I did and use the rogue, and I'm gonna set myself as main assist and I guess main tank, and we can try it one more time and see how it goes. So I'm gonna right away get his attention with my duration tap because I'm gonna need the health right away, not to mention I'm starting the fight off without full health, so I see that he's taking damage. Do I have two of these guys on me? Oh shit, I do. I have two on me, so this might not work out too well. And my pet died, so that sucks. I have control, but again, my pet's dead, so it's a little bit scary because I lost one of my guys. All right, we did it. We killed one. We had two on us, so we took one out. Hopefully we don't get another, and let's try to get some of our health back before this one falls. And we did it. We survived. Our pet's dead, sure. We did lose all the buffs and the cool mage weapons that was on him, but we survived it and we're still alive. Meanwhile, that guy is dead. That's why I said it could be a good idea to have another pet memorized, like the pet spell memorized, just in case. And I didn't even think to recast it during that fight because I was sort of in survival panic mode. And that's it though. That's how I would play a Necromancer. I don't play them very often. I think that it's a matter of having some strategy, having some finesse. If you're in a group, of course, and you have a tank and the tank is holding all the aggro and taking all the hits, then you could just sort of sit back and relax, toss in a couple of dots, toss in your pet, and that's that. You don't have to do a whole lot else. But if you're in a situation where you're kind of playing solo, it's a very different story. Another thing is, of course, I was doing this example while using some tranquility to get mana regen, but honestly a Necromancer gets a lot better mana regen by using one of their own buffs like Archlich, and it will overwrite the tranquility and often turn you into a skeleton or something unless you're on a mount. I think Archlich turns you into one of these guys, actually, one of these specters. But a specter can't ride a mount, so if you're on a mount, then it's not going to do it. But it will slowly drain away your health while refilling your mana and regenerating your mana. And I'm pretty sure it does it at a much better rate than Tranquility, except Tranquility doesn't drain away your health. So that's it, folks. That's how I play a Necromancer. Like I said, there's a few things to remember. If you get aggro and you don't want aggro, you can try feign death. You want to make sure you practice your abjuration a lot. If you want to practice your abjuration, you could just memorize your lowest hit point buff, which is minor shielding, and you can just cast that a whole bunch of times up in a safe place like POK or whatever. And by doing that, you're going to be able to practice. Oh, I guess I got to stand up to be able to have that spell memorized. So usually I'll sit on my mount in Plane of Knowledge, and I'll just sit there and be casting this spell a whole bunch of times. Or I'll make up a spell like this called Practice, and it's for slot 8, and slot 8 is actually where Feign Death is. So let me just put it there instead, and then I can just put Feign Death down here at the bottom. And so if I hit my Practice key, I will cast the spell 5 different times, and then once it's 5 times been cast, I can sit and hit that button again. And as you see, the more I cast, the more my abjuration skill goes up. And it's important. You want to get your casting skill up. Otherwise, I won't be able to use the upgrade to Feign Death called Death Piece, or whatever the hell that was called. It might have been called Comatose. I don't know. And so you wanna get your skills up. You want to get your casting skills up. That's one of the more important tips that I can give you. Again, if you play solo with just a pet and you don't have a mercenary, you don't have access to mercenaries, say you're on a TLP server, then one of the better strategies of soloing, if you're gonna solo, is to do what I did, where you hold aggro, you take taunt off of your pet, and you just kind of run around in circles, letting the thing chase you while you keep dotting it and keep taking health off of it slowly while your pet beats on it from behind. And even better, if you do have access to a mercenary, get a wizard or get a rogue where they can also beat on it from behind, and you're doing damage twice as fast, and it's so much more efficient. Because as you saw, it worked out fine where I just had the cleric, and the cleric was healing me, healing the pet. I'd say that could end up being the safer way to fight, but the more fun, the more efficient, and the more effective is the one where you get a rogue mercenary, and your pet and the rogue are both beating on the thing from behind, and you're just letting the thing chase you around because it hates you because of all the dots you keep putting on it, all the damage over time spells, and it's snared, so it's running very slowly, so it can never catch up to you. Of course, you got to keep recasting your dots. I would also say when using that strategy, you really want to use spells like Saren's Kiss, where it's constantly draining health from them and giving it to you as hit points, because that's really good. Also, if you have access to potions, you can grab some Distillate of Celestial Healing. You can even grab some Distillate of Replenishment, which is a regeneration potion. You can even maybe grab some Damage Shield potion, but you're not going to get hit, or you hope not to get hit that much. If you're a lower level, you might want to get some potions for Spirit of the Wolf, so you can keep running fast. Even when the monster is snared, if snare breaks, being able to outrun him when he's running at full speed is going to help you so much. So I hope you found this video useful. I hope I did the Necromancer justice. Like I said, I don't know everything about every class, and while I've played Necromancers a good amount, I don't know nearly as much about them as, say, a mage or an enchanter, because those have usually been my two more primary classes. A Necromancer I play more just because it can be fun, especially the whole evil roleplay kind of thing, and just having a skeleton fight for you, you know? It's kind of cool. If you like this video, please give the video a thumbs up. If you dislike the video, you can give it a thumbs down. Whether you give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, I'd love for you to leave a comment. Tell me what I did right in the video, or if you gave it a thumbs down, tell me what I did wrong in the video and what you would have done to make the video better. If you like what I do here and you would like to support me and support the channel, please consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed. Or you can join the channel as a channel member. Channel members get special perks and privileges, like a link to join our private Discord server. You also get my eternal gratitude for supporting the channel. If YouTube memberships are not your thing, look in the links below the video and you'll see a link to our Patreon. Patreon patrons also get similar perks like a link to join our private Discord and ad-free content. Yup, no commercials over on Patreon. You can also leave the video a super thanks. A super thanks is like a little mini donation, kinda like buying your pal Fez a cup of coffee. We gnomes love our coffee. The channel is getting very close to reaching that 1,000 subscriber mark, so if we hit 1,000 subscribers by Christmas Eve, that's December 24th, I have promised to dye the white stripe on my beard bright red for Christmas. So help me hit that 1,000 subscriber goal. Share the video with a friend today. I want to thank all of my current Patreon patrons and YouTube channel members for supporting the channel. You guys keep the lights on. You're my heroes. Thank you very much for your continued support. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day and a wonderful tomorrow.